New game, new save, same old lovable boys. Welcome to a brand new series here live on the channel. We are now in 2020 in a make-believe world where the pandemic, where the big virus was cured. We found a cure, and wrestling and the world around us can live peacefully and go on like nothing happened. We are in the middle of 2020. We are a couple days in. We're gonna be seeing this video, or this little part in front of Chad's debut TV show, because there's been a couple flip-flopping, mostly on my end, of not knowing who I wanted to control in this save. At first, it was going to be AEW, a company that is rivaling WWE at this point. When now Chad has always been, and Chad will always be, a TNA guy, and he is running TNA. We'll go through his roster right after we get through the big elephant in the room. Is who am I going to be? What roster am I going to come up with? Because through the first episode of his show, I thought it was going to be AEW. I thought I was going to be rivaling him, but then we realized quickly that the mismatch between AEW and TNA in this part of in 2020 is it's massive. It's massive, and I wanted to be kind of on the same playing field as Chad, because we went through the first day going to the first TNA Impact, and Chad was already losing people to WWE, and he didn't have the financial firepower to fight back against WWE. Well, I did. AEW had that. So I felt like I needed to take a step back and get into his shoes and really try to bring back some honor to a company. And we thought about it through 2 episodes. You'll see through week 2 that I still didn't know. And by week 3, we finally figured it out. We finally figured out the tagline of Road to Glory, as we are now, both of us, are trying to bring back a company back from basically the dead, back to its former glory. Chad, is going to be running TNA Impact. We'll see that after the roster overview and the world breakdown. And I will be running the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA. Billy Corgan's NWA is now part of that's my new baby right here, my new blood. I don't know how I'm going to do this. NWA Powerrr in this roster, it's not great. It's not ideal. I know nothing about how 2020 NWA was being ran. I know nothing about Billy Corgan's NWA. All I know is Nick Aldis has been champion for far too long, and I have some people in mind of who I want to take the belts off of. But let's meet my roster. We have Alicia Tout. She's going to be probably a backstage personality, a backstage interviewer. She's done videos with Mick Foley and Dua Lipa, so that's cool. We have Allison Kay from Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, could be talking on my ass. Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow. He is our NWA National Heavyweight Champion. We have 26-year-old Ashley Vox. Billy Corbin. Our referee in charge of the matches, Brian Ebner. C.W. Anderson, if you are a long-time viewer of the channel, you know I love C.W. Anderson. We have Dave Dawson, a man I know nothing about, but a man I'm going to Google and YouTube and figure out who he is so I can book him properly. We have Dave Lagana. David Marquez, who I'm assuming is a personality. Okay, I thought he was a commentator. Who is Dave Lagana? Dave Lagana, he's a writer. I have a dirt sheet writer on my roster, on my payroll. Okay. Eddie Kingston of current AEW fame is here in NWA right now. He also works for a lot of companies, so fingers crossed we get to actually work with him. Eli Drake, is our national tag team champion. He's with James Storm as tag team champions right now. Ethan Carter III is part of the NWA roster right now. He just signed with us going into the first couple days of this. Joe Galley, he is a play-by-play announcer. We got Camille, part of the Strictly Business, a stable I know nothing about, but I will love to learn more about them. I think she just signed with AEW in real life. So there we go. We have Marty Bell, former TNA Knockout. If again, I might be talking out of my ass. Let me look at that. Impact. I'll take it. Marty Scurll. Okay. Melina is here. Melina is part of the NWA. Mike Posey, a referee. We have our NWA World Heavyweight Champion for 601 days right now, Nick Aldis. We have Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson on our roster. I can't wait for that. We have Ricky Starks here in NWA. Royce Isaacs, Sal Renaro. Stu Bennett will be part of the announcing commentary booth. With, I think it was, who else was on it? It was Joe Galley. We have the Pope, Elijah Burke, 42-year-old. He's still going? Oh, he's a manager right now. Okay. The question mark. Who is he? I don't know. We have Bram. Thunder Rosa is our World Women's Champion. Tim Storm, I feel like, was former World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, he was for over a year, and was also North American champion for over basically a year. Trevor Murdoch, who in real life takes the belt off of Nick Aldis. Zack Ryder, let's rename you as Matt Cardona. Let's not use your WWE name. Let's go like that. Matt Cardona. And then we have Zane Dawson and our World Television Champion, Zicky Dice. Now, if you're wondering, who does Chad have in TNA? Who's in TNA at this part in 2020? We can look at the other companies right now as well. We are a couple days into the same, so we have seen some TVs, including Chad recording all of his TV shows already. I don't think anything really big changed, so we won't look at like popularity or match results. Ace Austin, AC Romero. He's got Reno Scum of Adam Thornston and Luster the Legend. He's got Brandon Tolley, the referee, Chris Bay, Chris Sabin, who we need to change to a wrestler, Alex Shelley as well, Cody Diener and Cousin Jake, Crazy Steve. We have Daga, Dave and Jake Christ, Deanna Perrazzo. We have Dez, Trey, and I think Zach Wentz is here as well. Eddie Edwards, Impact Tag Team Champion, Ethan Page with his tag team partner, Josh Alexander. We have Fala Ball, Gail Kim. He is controlling Jillian Jacobs. You'll see that in the next video in the next couple of minutes when we run TNA Impact. Glenn Gilberti, he loves Disco Fever, Havoc, Hernandez. We went over that. Jimmy Jacobs. We have Johnny Bravo and Johnny Swinger. Jordan Grace is your TNA Knockouts champion. Josh Matthews is on the table of commentary. Ken Shamrock is still here, 56 years old. Kiera Hogan, Kimberly, Corey Jarvis is someone he did sign, so this is new. You'll see that in the first runs of Impact. Smiley Kylie. Larry D is here. Who is Larry D? You tell me. We'll have to find out together. Madison Rain, Madman Fulton, Molly Bagashara. Matt Stryker's also commentary. No, he's not. He's a road agent at this point. Melissa Santos, Mike Elgin, Moose, Petey Williams, Raj Singh, R.D. Evans is the road agent. I should have just gone by active wrestler. Rhino, Rich Swan is hurt, broken ankle. RVD, Raju, Akeem Zayn, that's what his real name, okay, or his other name was. Rosemary, Sabu, Sammy Callahan, Sue Young, Suicide, Tasha Steeles, Taya Valkyrie, Tennille Dashwood, Tessa Blanchard is your current Impact World Champion at this point. I think she stopped showing up for Impact at this point. I think COVID, she just stopped wrestling. But she is World Champion at this point. TJP, Tommy Dreamer, Trey Miguel, Willie Mack, and Zoe Stark, a.k.a. Lacey Ryan, rounds out this roster. We can look at other companies right now, including WWE. They're big. They're big five right now. Roman, Becky, Randy, Daniel Bryan is still here, and Seth Rollins. Their current champions in 2020 include Drew McIntyre as your WWE champion, won it at WrestleMania, the COVID Mania. No 24/7 champion. Gronk had it, just lost it. Intercontinental champion was Sami Zayn, has vacated it back in May. No champion yet to be determined. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins have been tag team champions for almost over 3 months. Asuka is your women's champion. She won it in May. SmackDown tag team champions John Morrison and The Miz. SmackDown women's champion is Bayley. U.S. champion Apollo Crews. And your current WWE Universal champion is Braun Strowman. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are your tag team champions. We can look at show history. They have not run a show yet. Okay, SmackDown, though, main evented was Miz and Morrison over the New Day. And Raw was Randy and AJ over Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens. Have they set up a power structure? They have not. We'll look into it later. New Japan, probably the same things going on. IWGP Heavyweight Champion Naito's IC Champion as well. Takahashi is your Junior Heavyweight Champion. Shoyo. Let's see, Jon Moxley, U.S. Champion. You can see everyone else as well. And that nothing really happened over there. AEW, like I said, $12 million of money is a lot compared to TNA Impact's $343,000 and NWA's $487,000. So again, I just wanted the even playing fields on why I wasn't AEW after saying I would be. TNT champion is Cody. Hikaru Shida is your women's champion. Jon Moxley, AEW world champion, and your tag champions for the first champion still, Adam Page and Kenny Omega. That is really what is going on around the world. New Japan just crowned Kenta as the best of the Super Juniors. He also took over Bullet Club at the same time. But we will see you for... coming up next is TNA Impact, followed by NWA Powerrr TV. We'll see you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of NWA Powerrr. Episode number 22, I guess, of the TV run. But we are live. We're here in the Southeast. I think we're in Memphis, Tennessee. Let's just get into the show. It's a short show, NWA Powerrr. It's usually an hour, and that's what we'll keep it at for the time being. But right now, it's an hour long, and we got a jam-packed show for an hour. Let's get into the show. And we start off with Nick Aldis coming down to the ring, led or flanked by his Strictly Business stablemates, Camille and Royce Isaac. And he grabs a microphone, and Nick Aldis is about to speak. And let's hear what he has to say. We go into here. Nick Aldis goes, "Ladies and gentlemen," forgive me for my Nick Aldis voice, "wrestling fans around the world, gather around and bear witness to the reign of a true champion. For 603 days, I, Nick Aldis, have stood atop the pinnacle of professional wrestling as your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. In an era where fleeting moments of glory come and go, I have proven that true greatness endures. To every challenger who has dared to step in the ring with me, let this be a reminder, in case you have forgotten. You have all fallen, and you will all continue to fall. There is no end in sight for my reign, because I am not just defending a title. I am building a legacy. So to the next brave soul who thinks they can dethrone the national treasure, Nick Aldis, take your best shot. But know this. But when the dust settles and the bell rings, you will find yourself staring up at the lights, just like all those who came before you. I am Nick Aldis, your NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and this reign is far, far, far from over. Long live the champ." And they all raise their hand up in the air as Strictly Business This is a big defining moment for them as they start to show off with just Nick Aldis reminding everyone who he is as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We move on to our opening bout. The NWA World Television Champion Zicky Dice in non-title action goes one-on-one with one half of the Dawson Bros. It's Zane Dawson against Zicky Dice. And it's a short match, and Zicky Dice, the champion, shows why he's the champion and takes care of Zane Dawson in quick work in 5:58, hitting him with his finishing move and winning by pinfall. Our next match is a tag team match showcasing our tag team champions Eli Drake and James Storm. They take on Ricky Starks and Sal Rinauro. And in a decent match, 10:02, Eli Drake and James Storm win when Eli Drake hits the bottom rung on Ricky Starks to get the victory over the challengers. Well, their timing, they don't work well as a team. Do Ricky Starks and Sal Rinauro? We'll have to see. We'll have to figure that out. After a tough match, though, Alicia Tout comes into the ring, and she is going to interview our tag team champions. And Alicia Tout asks, Eli, James, another great bout in the ring here tonight on Powerrr. What is next on the plate for the tag champions? And Eli Drake grabs the microphone and he says, you see here, Alicia, we've been running around here as champions for quite a while now. And quite frankly, I'm getting bored. Me and Big James Storm here, as he slaps his chest right there, we might have to venture elsewhere to feed our appetite. I spelled appetite wrong, forgot to change it. Oh well. Because there is not one damn soul in the National Wrestling Alliance that could lace my boots and step toe to toe with James Storm and Eli Drake. Dummy. Yeah. So that is our tag team champions. Our next match is a one-on-one women's division match as we see Camille go one-on-one with Ashley Vox. And Camille showcasing her dominant stature here as she takes quick care of Ashley Vox in 8:14 with a spear, making she's a great talent here in the NWA, and she could be quite soon making a run for Thunder Rosa's NWA Women's Heavyweight Championship belt. But our main event tonight is about to be decided. As Nick Aldis came down to the ring to be with Camille as a stable mate, and out comes Billy Corgan. As they are about to leave the ring area, Billy Corgan has a microphone, our CEO, and says, hey, whoa there, Nick, I might suggest you get comfortable over there by the ring area. Because after your little promo earlier tonight, how we started the show, I had an office full of wrestlers, a line stretching out to the back of wrestlers waiting to get their hands on that so-proclaimed national treasure, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So right now, referee, stick right there because this next match will determine your challenger at NWA Shockwave later this month. The winner of this match will face Nick Aldis, is what we're told. So 4 or 5 men come down to the ring. We see Eddie Kingston come down to the ring. We see Tim Storm. We see Trevor Murdoch. We see Aaron Stevens. And we see this man right here, Ethan Carter, the 3. But in a decent match, a fatal 5-way, Trevor Murdoch gets the job done. Sneaking a pin on Tim Storm with a leg trap sunset bomb. What in the living hell is the leg trap sunset bomb? A big debut for EC3, but a big match for Trevor Murdoch. And he stares down as he's in the ring. He stares down and looks at Nick Aldis, motioning towards his stomach that he wants to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. Now you're going to see, let's see how we did. A 52. Perfect. Quite a wide selection of angles. Love to see it. That was our first episode of NWA Powerrr. We'll see you for Impact. We'll see you for next week of Impact and Powerrr. See you.
Ooh, what's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new series from Jmack Gaming. We will be playing the new TEW 9 game. It is going to be awesome. I will be playing TNA Impact. I'm also Chad Talks, for anyone who doesn't know that. And joining me as always is Jmack Gaming. And Justin, who will you be playing for this new series?
Hey, Chad. Like we noted in the community post a couple days ago, I will be playing as All Elite Wrestling in the year 2020. There is no pandemic. We're going to play in this universe as there is no virus. We found a cure early in it, and everything is back up and running. There is no limitations. There are no shows with fans not being in the crowd. There is no, I'm going to sit in my house and watch TV for 4 months straight. The world is healing. The world is healthy, and we are going to try to rewrite wrestling history in a world where there was no pandemic. Chad is taking over TNA Impact, as you can see right above. He's going to have oh my God! I just realized, Chad.
What?
I just realized that you. We'll talk about it after this, but you do have all 4 weeks of tapings this week.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll be running AEW. We'll just it's one TV per company per week. So he'll run Impact. I'll run Dynamite. So we might get all these done tonight, Chad.
Dang, nice.
Shit. All right, let's get into this first show. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see what we do, as Chad does, as a company that doesn't have a lot to work with. I'm excited we're a day in, and we've already dealt with the consequences of a much larger company looking down at us, i.e. WWE. Hopefully they don't steal all of our company and our roster. So it's a battle between us, but it's also a battle of trying to get to the top of the mountain and trying to dethrone WWE. So let's see who can get there first. But let's get into the first TNA Impact of the save. Chad, let's start it off.
Yes, we start off and we see Jillian Jacobs. That's right. Britta Perry from Community. She is the new owner of TNA Impact, and she comes out and she says, I am so honored to be here tonight in front of all of you. She says, now, everyone may know me or recognize me from that hit TV show Community, also Invincible, and many other projects. But what you may not know about me is that I am a huge pro wrestling fan. And so when the opportunity came to buy TNA Impact, I just had to cross the line. And people start TNA chants. She says,
TNA,
now, I may not
TNA, TNA.
I may not be the most experienced in the wrestling industry, but I've made my entire career, my entire livelihood has been performing and entertaining my fans. And this is no different. TNA is going to be the top brand in professional wrestling, one way or another. We are going to bring TNA to new heights, and we're going to do it together, because you all are all the reason why TNA is where it's at today. And after she says that, she's interrupted by the TNA World Champion Tessa Blanchard, and she comes out and she says, listen here, Jillian, I'm going to quickly disagree with you on one thing. This company is where it's at because of Tessa Blanchard. It has nothing to do with these fans. And as far as I'm concerned, Jillian, I should be the only person you're worried about impressing and keeping happy, because I am your TNA Impact Wrestling champion, and I have no problem walking the hell out of this company if I'm not respected. And Jillian Jacobs, she says, Tessa, I would never ever dare disrespect a champion. And listen, as far as making sure you get treated, you are my top priority, Tessa, because tonight we are going to have ourselves a community battle royal. And the winner of that battle royal will be the number one contender to face you at Slammiversary in 5 weeks. And Eddie Edwards comes out and he says, Jillian, you may be new to TNA, but better late than never, I say. He says, this company has always been the place where the future stars of this industry wrestle. And I look forward to being one of the torchbearers, one of the gatekeepers, one of the leaders of this company. And all I'm saying is, as long as TNA has a pulse, I will be here. And I'm going to show you my dedication to this company and to these fans by winning that Battle Royal tonight and proving why Tessa Blanchard, you're old news, and why Eddie Edwards will win the World Championship.
Ooh, Eddie Edwards.
We've got a community
battle royal, Chad, from the woman who was in Community. What a
yes. What's your favorite Community episode?
I love the one where they're locked in a room.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that's the only one I've seen. Thumbs up. I was looking at Tessa Blanchard's match results leading up into June 2020 in real life. And I know it was the pandemic. I know wrestling kind of stopped for a little bit. But her last match was with Eddie Edwards, as she teamed with Eddie Edwards to lose to the Kings of the North, or Heads of the North, or whatever they call themselves. So her last match in TNA before this promo was with Eddie Edwards. So he does know that she is old news because he teamed with her. We move on.
Exactly. All according to plan.
Our opening match here, Chad.
But we start off with our opening match, and you talk about an instant classic. In a poor match, OVE defeated Reno Scum in 9:43 when Dave Christ pinned Luster the Legend with a shooting star press.
Yeah, OVE. Chad, what does that stand for?
Ohio versus everything.
Yeah, right?
I think so.
You're right.
That or Ohio versus everyone.
Yeah, that sounds right. I thought it was something different, but then I realized I'm an idiot. I caught a little decent match. Didn't know Dave Chris can pull out of a shooting stars press. I know we're in the modern day save, but or somewhat modern day, but I don't know anything about Reno Scum at all, Chad. I can't wait. I can't wait to learn who they are. I can't wait to learn what Adam Thornstone and Luster the Legend bring to this business. They do have a tag team specialist bonus, so there you go. Got a 40, which is pretty decent for where you're at in TNA. Poor match, though. The game doesn't know what it's talking about.
After that match, Sami Callihan, of course, another member of OVE, he gets in the ring and he cuts a promo and he says, Tessa Blanchard, you and I are no strangers in this ring. You and I have had our fair share of matches. And Tessa, unfortunately for you, you have something I want. The TNA World Championship. So tonight, I'm going to destroy any single person who gets in our way. Because in that battle royal, it's Ohio versus everyone.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was muted and I couldn't reach my microphone. How? Yeah, there we go. Our next match is a triple threat match in Chad. It is our first title match here in Impact Wrestling.
Yes. The X Division champion, of course, Willie Mack, defends his title against Suicide and Fallah Bahh. And in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Willie Mack defeated Suicide and Fallah Bahh in 9:51 when Willie Mack pinned Fallah Bahh with a roll-up. And, that match was designed to revolve around high spots.
Yeah, as X Division matches do.
One. Exactly. And Willie Mack makes defense number 1 of the X Division title.
Fallah Bahh, I mean, he was probably struggling in a match like this, right? High spots, probably fast pace, high speed, lots of move. That explains why Fallah Bahh only had a 14 in this match. Maybe not an X Division competitor is Fallah Bahh. But Willie Mack, for a big guy, big size, but he's quite agile, quite speedy as a big fella. So good to see him get a roll-up win over Fallah Bahh and Suicide. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Grace, she has the TNA Knockouts champion. And, she says, Big Mama Pump, she she's the TNA Knockouts champion. And even though there's another woman in this company who claims to be the best, she says, I could beat Tessa Blanchard, and I could beat any single knockout on this roster anytime, anywhere. And then Tennille Dashwood, she shows up, and she basically tells Jordynne Grace that while she has been trying to overcome, while you were wasting away on the independents, I was with the big leagues. All right. And then I came here because that company didn't know a star when they saw one. And you, Jordynne Grace, you don't recognize a star when you see one. But that's okay, because after our match tonight, no one's going to be talking about Jordynne Grace. And everyone's going to be talking about Tennille Dashwood. As we go into our next match, Jordynne Grace versus Tennille Dashwood.
Yeah, they cut that promo. We go to commercial, and we come right back out, and they hit their entrances. Jordynne Grace, women's champion, Tennille Dashwood, former WWE superstar. They go one-on-one here, Chad. Non-title, correct?
Correct, yes.
Ooh, and they go. There we go. We got a good match here.
Yes, and a decent match. Tennille Dashwood defeats Jordynne Grace in 12:53 by illegally using the ropes for leverage. She cheated and was able to squeak out a victory against the Knockouts champion.
Yeah, cheating to get a win over the champion does seem a little kind of poopy, but she got it done here. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not looking at how you do it. They're looking at when you did it. Or no, they're not. They're looking, I don't know what they're looking at, Chad. Keep your peepers to yourself, but a big win for Tennille Dashwood over the champion. Does that mean she's next in line? I know we have Slammiversary coming up soon in the next 5 weeks, so that should lead Tennille Dashwood to a good ranking. Maybe she's a new number one contender with a big win over the champion.
Yes, we are backstage, and Cody Deaner and his cousin Jake, they are reminiscing and looking through old family photos. They look at Auntie Jake and Grandma Jake and Grandpa Jake, and they look at all of their relatives. And Crazy Steve says that their family is ugly, and it makes sense why they look the way they do now. And Deaner and cousin Jake, they take exception to that. They want to make Crazy Steve pay for insulting their family. And Crazy Steve says, I'm not the only one who thinks you guys suck. I mean, these fans think you suck. And that leads to a fight backstage. And then, Justin, we come back to commercial, and it's spilled into the ring. It's been made by Jillian Jacobs. We got Cousin Jake versus Crazy Steve next.
Oh, man. If someone called my family ugly, I'd punch them too. I get it, Cousin Jake. I get it. Another 40 match. There we go.
And a decent match. Cousin Jake defeats Crazy Steve by submission. Listen.
Look, we might start off slow.
Crazy Steve was running his mouth, and Cousin Jake made him pay.
He shut him up. He shut that mouth up. The crowd was very hot for this, so that could be something. The color commentary gave the match a boost. Who is your announce table? It is Josh Matthews and Don Callis. Interesting.
Interesting. As we have another match, yes, Zoe Stark is here in TNA Impact, and she defeats Leah Vaughn in 3:59, an absolute destructive force that is Zoe Stark, and she destroys Leah Vaughn.
I mean, yeah, Zoe Stark coming out right off the bat, right off the ring bell against, she comes out dominating against a young wrestler, Leah Vaughn, who came up to TNA, the office or the ring tonight, the arena, and asked if she could be hired for the night. And Jillian Jacobs said, "Why not?" And she got put into the dog pound here against the big dog Zoe Stark, and Zoe Stark ate her alive. 3:59, beat the crap out of her tonight, and it really showcased how dominant this young and upcoming superstar Zoe Stark could be here in TNA. We move on, though, Chad. We move on to a legend.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam, he's asked about what he feels about his chances in this community battle royal. And Rob Van Dam says, listen, All right, I'm no stranger to battle royals. I've wrestled all kinds of battle royals in my career, and I'll tell you what else I've done. I've won the TNA World Championship. So, what are my chances? What do I think my chances are in this match? I think my chances are pretty damn good, and I think that tonight I'm going to prove why I am Rob Van Dam.
One of a kind. Hey. You know, we might be in a new save, but it wouldn't be. You still got RVD on your roster. Love to see it. Love to see it. Our co-main event here tonight, Chad.
Yes, our co-main event, we got Hernandez versus Rhino, and then about that, a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Rhino defeats Hernandez in 11:20 with a gore.
Two older guys. Do you foresee yourself using these as like your main event guys? We're not gonna ask those questions yet. We'll wait until the media scrums to really dive in to Jillian Jacobs into her headspace going on. But a big win for Rhino again, former TNA World Champion. Question mark? Okay, I didn't. I'm not.
Sure.
Hernandez, former TNA World Champion.
I don't think Hernandez ever has.
All right, well, let's erase TNA from the history of the wrestling business for not having Hernandez as champion. I think we move into our main event, though.
Yes, the Community Battle Royal, and in a decent match, Sami Callihan won a Battle Royal in 1940. The rest of the eliminations were Chris Bay first, then Josh Alexander, then Tommy Dreamer, then Sabu, then Trey, then Taya, then TJP, then Sue Young, then Havoc, and then Ace Austin. And don't you worry, because then it was Ethan Page, and then it was Ken Shamrock, and then it was Petey Williams, and then it was Eddie, and then it was Madison Rain, and then it was Rob Van Dam, and then it was Michael Elgin, and then it was Rosemary, and then finally it was Moose.
It's the final two, Sami Callihan and Moose, Chad. And Rosemary, yes. Final three, good for them.
Yeah, good for them. And that just means Eddie Edwards, he's just going to have to wait a little bit longer because unfortunately for Eddie Edwards, we have ourselves a new number one contender.
That is true. I'm worried about the injuries that happened in this because in terms of booking order elimination, RVD and Eddie Edwards were not in the original spots, so I am afraid that either one or both of those guys got hurt. So here we go. Petey Williams, no. Shattered elbow. Ooh. Creative finish. So the gimmick idea was a success, though. So probably brought this match up higher than it should have been. Thank you, Scott D'Amore. And then we get our stare down, our first look at the first world title picture here, Chad.
Yes, we've got our champion Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan at the main event of Slammiversary 2020. And
confirmed.
What a physical contest that should be.
Yes, indeed. That is your first TNA Impact. It got a 48. There you go.
Not too shabby.
There we go, Chad. A 48. When you have three more to book right after this. They won't be in order of the recording. I think we'll probably do the first episode here of the first episode of TNA and the first episode of Dynamite. But Chad's got a little bit to go before we get there. We'll see you for TNA Impact. Or we'll see you for Dynamite. Sorry, not TNA Impact. Chad, are you excited for this save?
I can't wait to see Cody Rhodes in AEW.
No, I can't wait to bury him into the fucking dirt.